Good. Keep that up. I like it. Yeah, good. Softer there, softer chest. That's good. Here. And that shoulder down. Nice. And smile. These are very, very simple things. Very simple things. Real subtle things that will make you show up completely different from people. Now I'm going to take you through the next phase of this. We're going to relax the muscles in this. Okay, and this might open up some conversations in terms of your body might be talking to you. You might get tired, you might get something. But whatever happens is fine. This is a dojo, it's a place of learning. Okay? So, length, width, depth, get back in that shape I just coached you on. Right? Relax the eyes. That means that you can see the entire room. No tunnel vision right now. So stay with me, everybody focus on me. Right? Relax the eyes. Relax the jaw. The jaw is not just designed to be clenched. The teeth are not designed to be touching. Open it up for me, please. You might feel goofy like a fly trap or whatever, but it's okay. This is fraternity brothers. You guys can deal with this. Right? Let that jaw relax. Sometimes, so if any of you have taken any music lessons, singing lessons, they work the jaw, and this has to be all loose to get those high notes. As a leader, as a public speaker, you've got to have control of that in a way that you can show up and speak for 2 hours, yeah? Okay, so eyes, jaws, length, width, depth, shoulders up to your chin, up to your neck, and drop. Really extend that down. Start breathing down your solar plexus, pelvic area. I want you to tighten your sphincter. You guys know where your sphincter is? It's your butt. Yeah. Tighten it, let it go. Sphincter hold. Butt hold. Tighten it, let it go. I want you to listen. Some people walk around with that tight all the time. Stick up their ass. I'm serious. It's one of those contractions that people feel comfortable in. Let it go. Let it go. Now we go the legs, the knees, front, back, left, right on the feet. I'm going to do this one more time. At the end of this time, I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths into your belly. Left hand below your belly button. This is your core. This is your core center. This is where all the power can come from. You can extend all kinds of different ways, but as long as it's here, you're balancing the core. Running backs, athletes, etc. move from the core. The core also, as an executive, allows you to be centered in a way that you can pull dimensions that we worked on, length, width, and depth. There's insights from all those places. So as a leader, you want to work from your intuition, not from your head. So, length, width, depth, front, back, left, right, eyes, jaw, shoulders, breath down, pelvic, sphincter, knees, feet. And I want to add the hands. Extend energy in the hands. Now take a deep breath through your belly. Again. And allow the energy to start settling down the body into the core. Each breath you're allowing that energy. Good. You want to feel the release here. Just keep going down. One more time. Now what do you feel right now? First thought, best thought, one word descriptions.
Relax. Relax.
Strong.
Nice, who said strong? Good. Happy? Calm. Calm, good. Breathe again, don't go in your head, come back to the body. So this is called the center of presence. When you're here, you should feel the entire room. Your eyes should be seeing everything, right? There's an inspiration that can come from above. There's a grounding, like I'm solid here. I'm okay, right? There's I've got my past with me, right? And I have my future that I'm going towards. Right? There's a peace that I am, right? At first it may feel I'm really relaxed, I'm tired. That means that you've been pushing your body way too hard, and you have to take these moments to unwind. Right? The body needs to unwind every once in a while. Find that place where you can unwind and let go. So another deep breath down. And I'm going to go into a spiritual realm here. Just need you to say, I am.
I am.
I I am what I am.
I am what I am.
Okay, good. So, that was just me going crazy, sorry. So this is a place that you can practice in the morning and night. Right? If you practice this in front of somebody, right, see what happens to them. So I want you guys to just break up into twos real fast. We're only going to spend a minute doing this. I want you to center in front of a partner. No conversation, no conversation. Center and see what happens, how you connect to them in a deeper way.
Do we both at the same time for your alternate?
Both do it at the same time. Both are centering, both are extending out, connecting. Length, width, depth, eyes, jaws. Connect to the eyes, there you go. Chin down. Just allow it now. Just be there. Good. Okay, good. That's all I need. Going back. Okay. So, come back. So, what do you take away from this exercise?
You control your mind, or you control your body, and
You can control your body. What is that? So, what's the bigger story? What does that do for us?
you control how you perceive in the world.
Allows us to be present and aware of everything.
Good. So when you're trying to motivate people from this point, at first it might think, well, God, I don't feel strong, or I don't feel, you felt strong, I like that. But the practice allows you to go, you know what, it's okay to be right here. There's a certain vulnerability about this position. And there's a lot of good TED Talks. There's one on vulnerability. If you want to watch one of it, it really can open up. What, you don't like my touching?
I've seen it. I was just gonna.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
So in order to connect to someone truly, you have to be vulnerable. One way to be vulnerable is to be open. One way to be open is to be centered and present. Right? So like I said, this is a very powerful state, especially for a man, because you can start to pull in all this insight that's all around us, giving us power and perspective. Right? And be confident that, hey, it's okay. Right? My deadlines aren't going to kill me. I'm just going to relax into it. Sometimes we get in spaces where we're triggered too much, and so you need someone to come in to help you. That's where peers are very important. Right? The next piece beyond peers is coaching or counseling on campus. Right? Or even going to doctors as the third or the fourth level of support. Don't be afraid to step into any of those. Everybody does it. Okay? So, if you're, don't go in your head. Get out of your head. Connect to someone, as you saw. Get their energy. Work with their energy. They're going to benefit from it as well. And start stepping the game up. That all make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. So, we're just about at time here, but I am going to mention, go ahead and sit down now.
Let's go ahead.
I am going to mention a few distinctions here about masculine and feminine. So I've been talking about it the entire time. Hopefully you guys will get some of it. But let me see if there's a good one I can. So men think, women feel. You guys familiar with that one?
Makes sense.
Right, so when we talk, well, we use the word, well, this is what I think. When you talk to a woman, they're going to say, this is what I feel. And truly, they're feeling it. They said that women, again, I'm not a woman, but the studies that I've been in, they feel right here. Like there's like this big plate almost of feeling. Right, and it's very important to them. So when they're in a feeling mode, one of the things we try to do is we try to think it through for them. Right? And so one of the things to do is to get centered, like I just taught you, and be present for them, and just allow them to feel it. And you'll be surprised at the results you get. You don't have to be there for a long time. One of the criteria of working with women is they are diffuse focused and we are focused, and it's very difficult for those two to come together. So if you have a girlfriend or you have a good friend that's a female, and you want to connect to her, and she starts doing her stuff, instead of trying to control it or trying to answer her problems, tell her that, you know what, I'm going to be completely present for you and I'll hold this space. Right? I'm going to let you do what you need, but I can only do it for 3 to 5 minutes, honestly. And seriously, that's enough. Because women don't get a masculine presence very often. Because guess what? Men are typically focused somewhere else. And we try to say, oh yeah, she's talking to me, okay, yeah, got that. But we're really like, I'm into this, right? So we have to learn practices if you want to connect to the female species, that you can disconnect from whatever you're focused on and focus on her. Don't focus on solving her problems. Focus on adoring her. Women want to be adored. Men want to be admired. Adore her. You know, I love watching her flow in her feminine energy. This is beautiful. And it feels good to me to watch her do this. Like I own this space for her, and that's, I'm proud to be a man to be able to do that. Be in those kind of conversations, not like, God, you know, I can tell her exactly what to do here. She's not asking for that. She needs to feel, and that feel is I need to express. And if she expresses into a container called man, like I'm holding this space, she feels heard. And when she's heard, she's done. That's all I want. Right? It's very simple stuff, but the centered presence that I'm teaching you is a great way to start in that. Any questions there? Anybody have any challenging right now before, because we don't have a lot of time, about any lady conversations?
Any challenges in our life or any
Yeah.
questions for you? Actually, what you were just saying resonates with me, because I had, like, with my relationship, there's been times where she's like, we don't spend enough time together. And I feel like we spend the time, but like you said, I spend the time focused on other things.
Yeah.
Right?
You're there, but you're not present. And she knows the difference. So this technique I showed you about just being present, say, you know what, I'm going to close everything down, I'm going to be with you. Even if you have to set a time for her, right, to do that. But it's critical. Any questions you have?
No, I was just going to reiterate that I've definitely seen that and experienced that. It's very true. If you just let them, because guys want to solve problems, and they don't want the problem solved, just like you said. And so when you do that, it's, like you said, it's really effective.
Yeah.
And it's hard as a guy to not solve a problem, because
Yeah.
it feels unresolved at the end. But they don't.
That's not the point. That's our thinking. Remember, we're masculine is about singular focus, it's about getting to the end. And the faster we solve a problem, the sooner we're free. That's our whole game, right? Is to get free. It's like, I'm in this project, I'm going to put everything I got into it until I'm done. You okay? But it's like, I need to express myself, I need to feel this more, I need to let it out of my system, right? And so the problem that you're solving, if you had to refocus, is that you're taking care of this person that's very important to you. And by the end of it, you know that that problem will be solved. All you have to do is stay centered and present. Right? Primal space versus, this is an interesting one. When I heard this one, I went, oh shit. Primal space versus spiritual space. So when we're triggered, life and death, that's primal. Our energies are thinking about, holy crap, I'm going to die here. And there's this whole primal energy that shows up to fight that. When we're in a spiritual realm, like, we're not worried about our survival. We're worried about, how to be happy, how to love. Right? So those are the difference between primal and spiritual. So, it's called the two women, one guy scenario. Sounds fun, doesn't it? So, you have a girl on your arm, girlfriend or whatever, and you're walking down the street. And you're at Santana Row, which is a place that I live at, and there's just all kinds of beautiful women there. Yeah.
You live near there.
Yeah. So as you walk down the street, you're with this woman that you care about a lot, and she knows you've given her attention, and all of a sudden, this woman shows up out of the blue. Beautiful woman, and you just can't do anything but look at her. And by the way, that's one of our patterns as men, that we are visual and we will look. You're damn right! Right? So when we look, it's like, so then we go, oh crap, she's caught me or whatever. Right? But we're in this, like, I still love her or I still care about her, but this woman just showed up and it's like, wow. And you might even say, wow. So she walks by. Well, the lady gets triggered. You can see that she's emotionally triggered. Right? And in that trigger, you say, honey, it doesn't matter, I love you. Or, we're dating, we're together, what's the problem? Well, she then gets even madder. Right? Because you haven't addressed her at where she's at. You just threatened her survival, and this is the piece that I was like, oh my God. A woman's instinct, primal need is to be taken care of in the event that there's a threat, right? It goes way back to cave woman, right? And it's deep in their primal energy. So she's walking down the thing and there's a threat. The threat isn't like, you know, he's going to go and sleep with her. The threat is he's going to choose her over me when that tiger's coming out of the bush. He's going to choose her over me when the tiger comes out of the bush. It's that primal. And so what happens is she gets into this place of, I can't hear him say, I love you, I like you, or what, all those things that he's saying, because he's not threatened at all. He's like, wow, you know, the world's kind of abundant, it's kind of cool, right? He doesn't see her primal. He's talking from a spiritual, I love you. But she's talking from a primal. And so the language, we talked about earlier, misses. And she gets angrier and angrier, because she's feeling her survival is threatened. So he needs to be able to say the right words. He needs to speak to her in the primal space. And the primal space is, honey, I'm here. I will choose you over any woman. I will protect you. I care only for you. That's a primal word. Yeah? When I heard that, I was like, fuck. Because that's how you feel when you're with a girl. And if it's your girlfriend or whoever you're with, right? You feel that way. But you don't think that that's what needs to be said. It's obvious, isn't it? We're thinking. Then we're not. So be careful of your language when you're with a woman, right? And you have to figure out where she's at. Is she really threatened? Like, does she think that I'm going to pick someone else over her? If so, I have to be cognizant enough, centered and present enough to sense that so I can then take care of her. Now, why am I talking about this? Business is the same thing. You're going to be engaging with men and women in your business world, right? And they're going to be threatening conversations all the time. Partnerships, all kinds of things. You have to be able to say the right language to connect people back into their centered presence so they can be the most effective on your team. So paying attention to the language, paying attention to their primal or their spiritual space. When all's good, all's good. When there's a threat of a layoff, ooh, people start getting primal. And if you start saying, don't worry about it, you know, we're making lots of money. No, they're not going to hear you. They're going to get freaked out. And you're going to lose the productivity of your team. Right? So these groups and things that you guys are managing, think about it from that point of view. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's a ton of masculine and feminine stuff out there on the internet. The people that I study, David Deida, Allison Armstrong, Tony Robbins has some, of course. These people, there's one other, her name is Shante and Jeff Feldheim. These people, if you just type in masculine and feminine on YouTube, you can start to see some of these conversations, and they're really fascinating, especially at a young age like you guys are at. To realize what it is to really step into my manhood, and to understand what it is for women to be them, truly them, and how most of the women that I coach are in their 40s and 50s, they've had to be man. And we can be feminine as well. But they had to step up in the man role because that's what the movement said. It said, we need to regain our power, and that's fine. They should have equal power. But they did it by becoming more masculine, not more feminine. And that's the disconnect right now in the world. A lot of ladies are suffering in the world because they've had to hold this masculine role and they're tired of it. They don't want it anymore. And they don't have choices because men, so the beauty of a man against a man, like if I challenge you, right? Our challenge will last for the moment that we challenge each other because our intention is we're going to help each other get better. Because him and I have to go and hike over those 2 mountain ranges to go kill a seal, to bring it back here to feed the thing. And I need him to be the best man possible. So when we're walking around the village and I see a weakness in him, I'm going to poke at it. And I'm going to poke at it good. He's going to feel it and he's going to go, oh shit, I got to get that correct. And then we're going to go have a beer. Or we'll go sit by the fire. Right? Or go sharpen our tools. Whatever it is. But we don't hold it. We view it as man against man, no problem. Right? So if you have men around you that are poking at you, know that they're trying to make you a better man. They're not trying to take you down. Shift the mindset. I had to shift that for me. The second piece, though, when a feminine is around, men are called to serve feminine. Like if there's a feminine in the room and she starts walking for that door, my instinct is I need to get that door for her. I need to serve her. Because when I serve her, guess what? I get her energy. And it could be just a smile. It doesn't have to be full-on energy. It's just like, wow, I was able to serve her, and I get, like I said, it spirals up. So that's the beauty. It's called the polarity of masculine and feminine, that each take care of each other. And so when you're around a feminine and you have an opportunity, she's totally feminine, step in.